Hi everyone, and welcome to day 27 out of 28. So it's the second last day. So I just thought I would share some thoughts that I've had around this whole experiment. I started out being super strict, and as things were, they went great. Didn't have that much energy. Obviously, I got kind of depressed out of nowhere. And I think I know why now, but there were so many things going on and it didn't really feel right. And it really surprised me coming from already, let's say, 90% carnivorous diet, but incorporating more different type of foods. But yeah, I didn't really expect it to be that hard. I expected it to be hard in terms of variety in my food and that I would be a bit boring, but that was kind of part of why I wanted to do this, to see if I could emotionally detach from food a bit, because I am very emotionally attached to food in general. But it was more than just boredom. It was the combination of being bored with it, and then it didn't taste good any longer, and not feeling great, even though the headaches disappeared after maybe a week or whatever. There were lots of things going on, and I had some blueberries, then I added in eggs, and yesterday I actually had some salami, so I'm kind of back to where I was already. So in terms of doing 28 strict carnivory, I failed miserably. I gave it a good go, I think. I think I did, was it 15, 16 days, whatever, before I had my blueberries? I can't really remember anymore. That's not... If you have a health condition that you want to cure, that's obviously not going to be long enough for me to decide if this is something that I could do long term. Yeah, that's enough. I'm not going to go that strict, being that such a strict carnivore ever again, probably, unless I've really planned it out much better. I have everything that I need, all the type of food and so on. But I kind of doubt it, and I'm much more interested actually in if I want to address something like my sinus problems. So when I'm talking about my sinuses, I've had that for probably 20 years or more. So that when I lay down, my sinuses are getting blocked and I had to use a decongestant. Sometimes when I'm eating badly, my whole body obviously gets more inflamed, and I'm having these problems even as I'm standing up or walking around or whatever I'm doing. So I can kind of judge how bad my diet is from how bad my sinuses are. It's not always immediate, but in the past when I've been strict ketogenic and I've just had like meat and fat and vegetables, no fruit, no sweets at all, it takes me about a month for my sinuses to get better, and they do get better, but it has never been resolved. 1 week's water fasting made them slightly better, not as good as a week of a ketogenic diet, a month of a ketogenic diet does, which was a bit surprising to me with the autophagy and everything going on. And I was really hopeful when it came to that. 2 weeks of strict carnivory didn't do a lot for my sinuses, probably too short, since I was still eating a lot of food, I say. It wasn't a lot, but yeah. So for me, that's not the diet for me. I'm still going to incorporate a little bit of other things. I'm going to go back to my spices. I'm going to go back to having butter, but I might actually cut dairy out and just try and do clarified butter. I have to have a think about that. Garlic is always going to have a special place in my heart. Now I'm into the blueberries. I've got another kilo bag of blueberries in the freezer waiting for me. Seasonal fruits, when I can pick them myself, probably. I'm not going to go and buy lots of fruit from the supermarket, but when they are available in nature or in my backyard, I don't see a problem with it. And I might do some other experiments, but I think for me, 90% carnivore with some addition of other things is probably the way to go for my well-being and sanity and all those things around that. So without telling you too much about some other thoughts and results, because I was going to share that tomorrow on my last day, that's probably where I'm going to go. And there's something very interesting that also happened that I'm going to keep quiet about until tomorrow, so you're going to have to come back and watch me then. But yeah, I think we might be super carnivores. There's evidence pointing towards us having, our ancestors having been super carnivores, as they say, that we had extremely high nitrogen levels, and that would then support the theory that we were eating almost exclusively animals. And that may be true. Is that the best diet? Maybe. It's certainly very nutritionally valid, I think. And if you can also be outside, you can be in the sun and get a lot of sunlight, you get a lot of exercise in terms of, walking around, moving a lot, not necessarily doing very heavy exercise, but if you get all those pieces right, I think that's probably ideal for anyone. But that's not how we live anymore. Are some blueberries and some other stuff going to harm you? For most people, probably not. For some people, probably. So if you are one of those people that you have an autoimmune condition, or you have something that you really can't solve, maybe strict carnivory for a period of time, maybe months, if you can do that, maybe that's your solution. Maybe that's where you have to go and do, because this basically is the ultimate elimination diet. Very few people react badly to meat, or especially beef or lamb, for example. Now, most people probably get sick of lamb because it has a stronger taste, so I would recommend doing beef and salt, though, if you're going to do that. And I think if you're one of those, absolutely valid. I think go for it, but be prepared to go for it, and maybe do it in stages. I thought I could go straight there because I'm so close anyway, but I would absolutely recommend you to, go slow, cut one thing out first and then another, and don't go straight there, because you might react better than I did, for all I know. But I would still recommend you to go slow. I think that's the way to go for most people. Unless you're hardcore and you have super willpower. I don't think I had anything that was too motivating for me to stick to the diet when I didn't see results and I felt shit and I was so bored with it, and then now it doesn't even taste good anymore. So that was kind of the culprit of the why am I doing this? So yeah, you have to judge that for yourself, but that's just my thoughts about what's been going on. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much, and I'll see you then. Bye.